Shalom to you and welcome. In this video, we'll write the equation of a circle. Continue with circles. So we'll write the equation of a circle. Again, a circle is a set of points in a plane with equidistance from the center. To write the equation of a circle, all we need is the equation. So what's the equation of a circle? Again, it's x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. And hk is the center. HK is the center. So that's what we need to remember. So all we need to write an equation of a circle is just the center and the radius. Once we know the center, we just plug them into this equation and we have it. So we know the center, we know the radius. Just plug that in. X minus. So the center, -6 is x. So make sure you plug in the right one at the right spot. This is -x. This is x, this is y. Okay, so that's for your h, goes for -6 squared plus. So remember the default is minus, so and then the k is your y, which is -1 squared. And then we know the radius is 3 squared. And then we simplify x plus 6 squared, because I have to do negative minus -6 is +6, plus same thing here, y plus 1 squared equals, and 3 squared is 9. And there you have it. That's the equation of a circle. That's simple. Okay. And here you're given the center and the point on the circle. We don't have the radius, but just let's write what we use. First of all, we'll go x minus, so we know the center gonna be negative. For x gonna be, this is your x, this is your y. It's gonna be -9 squared plus y minus -10 squared equals whatever radius we're gonna find. So let's simplify this first. Plus 9 squared plus y plus 10 squared equals, okay? Now let's wait when we get what r is, and then we plug that in. So we're gonna find r. And now remember the radius, which is the r, is the, what is that? Let's draw that quick circle here, triangle here. Pythagorean, if you remember, the radius is like the hypotenuse. And this point here is like the center of the circle. We write that center, -9, 10, and -10. And the point here is on the circle. Point at the both end points of the radius. One is at the center, the other one is on the circle. So we have -3, -6. So, and here we have the change in y, which is going to be, mark it that this is your y, this is your x. Okay, if we name that y, so we can name this x1 then, and y1. So since we already have this one as xy, so we can then have y1, the top minus the bottom. So it's -6 minus -10, which would be -6 plus 10, which would be 4. So, and then the change in x, which is -3 minus -9, which is -3 plus 9, which is 93 some 6. So therefore, using Pythagorean theorem, then r squared, r is the hypotenuse squared, is equal to like 1 squared plus like 2 squared. So r squared is 16 plus 4 plus 4, 36, which is, you add both, you get 52. Now, since we in our equation what we need is r squared, we already have r squared, so we don't really need to simplify more to get r. We just plug in the r squared, which is 52. That's what we have. Okay, so, and that's it. That would be the equation. Okay, so if you remember a distance formula, you can also use the distance formula to find the radius, because the radius is the distance. So that's, again, this is like your r here. Okay, same thing. And to find the midpoint, just add the, instead of subtracting the change in x, you find the sum of the x divided by 2 and the sum of the y divided by 2. So just a refresher course. When I draw that like I did, remember again, the center is the center of the circle, and then we can always draw a triangle to help us find the change in y minus k, and the change in x down here, okay, x minus h. Okay, if you don't remember the formula, you can just draw the picture and use it like that. Okay, this is what we just did. Let's do this one. Is again, you're given non-standard equation, and you can just use factor by completing the square. You complete the square and then you get it. What do we do again? But then there's a transformation that happened. First of all, factor this. Once you factor it, you get the equation automatically in standard form. But then you have to apply the transformation. So let's do the factoring by completing the square. So first of all, we move everything to one side. So we take x squared. So everything is actually on one side. Let's just put all the x's together. Minus 22x plus what we are going to add, and then y squared minus 2y plus what we're going to add equals, so we're going to move the constant term on one side. So subtract 112 to both from both sides, you get negative 112. But we're going to add the two things we're going to add on the left side. So what is that again? Our quadratic coefficient is 1. For y is 1 also. So we just find 1/2 of, I hope you already found the pattern for this. So it says 1/2 of the linear function, so it's going to be negative 11 squared. And that negative 11, we square it. We're going to get 121, right? 121. And then we're going to add 121 over here. So that's for that one, for the x. And then for the y, so we have negative 2, so it's going to be plus y. Since it's negative 2, 1/2 of negative 2 is negative 1, so it's going to be minus 1 squared. And 1 squared is 1, so we're going to add 1 there. So we're going to add our right side, that plus that, we're going to give us 10. Okay, so here we have it. We see, once you do the by completing the square, you automatically have the equation in standard form. So, but then we need to apply this translation. If it is translation to the right, it means it happens to x. X goes left and right. It goes to the right, it means you're going to write you're adding 5 more. So the x is over here. Instead of being 11, we're going to add 5. So for x, we're going to do 11 plus 5. and we get 16. So this is going to change to x minus 16 squared. Okay, for y, it has 2 down. Y goes up and down. So since it has 2 down, it's going to be minus 2. So we are going to I can write it here, plus 5 minus 2. So we are going to subtract 2 from that. So this is the default. This is already, so this is 1. So for y, we are going to do 1 minus 2. And that will give us negative 1. So here we're going to have y minus negative 1. Okay, equals 10. So arrow square stays the same. So we're going to simplify this one now because we have that double subtraction there. So it's going to be y plus 1 squared equals 10. And then we keep this one is okay. And that's our final answer. Okay, hope you get that.